Good morning, sir, and good morning to our classmates. So, our group is focusing on the QC Education Futures 2050, and basically, we're going to tackle about the education plan we have laid out for Quezon City. So, as we all know, education is the key to success, and this is why it is very important to plan how people will be able to access this equally. So, in line with this, we have created visions for different years, decades to be exact. So, we have integrated futures thinking into the planning process as we have seen its importance in making a more comprehensive education plan in Quezon City.
So what do you to expect by 2050? It's maximizing the use of technology and introduction of new approaches of teaching and learning in order to increase collaboration to focus on sectoral problems.
So, may we present the vision we have laid out for each decade starting with December 2021.
By December 2021, this is how we envision how education should be present in Quezon City or in the Philippines as a whole. One LGU at a time. We divided this section into two. First, evaluation and consultation, where the education sector should have completed evaluation of distance learning measures for the formulation of evidence-based policies and data-driven programs. And second, strive for a better learning experience, where necessary changes must be done for the implementation of the new normal mode of learning that adapt and look after the physical and mental health and overall well-being of students and teachers. How can we possibly achieve these? First, by preparing. Give teachers, parents, and students ample time and resources to prepare for the incoming academic year. Ensure that everyone is equipped with necessary tools for a safe back to school. Second, ideate. Collate ideas and insights. Evaluate the responses of the LGU and its constituents and start tapping universities for research. Last, consult. To be able to execute the above mentioned suggestions, the implementing agency should hear and act upon the sentiments of the public. Ask the people who will be directly affected and put them first. Next, hopefully by the year 2030, education in Quezon City should have partnerships that will bridge the gap between LGUs and universities and strengthen these partnerships so that it could help the LGU address the educational problems with solutions proposed by the youth, which are grounded on their experiences. Thus, these should be effective in solving the problems of the city. In 2030, this will already be established and operational. Maximize the resources for educational technology. By the year 2030, we are gearing towards more learning innovations to prepare or even improve for blended learning. Students become active participants in their learning process by contributing to their institutions and are not merely governed by standard rules and grading matrices. Hence, there will be room for growth for their unique skills and proficiencies. What should be done? As for the role of the national government and other policy-making bodies, the education sector should be prioritized and given proper funding to execute projects that will make significant changes or the whole system, such as infrastructure and proper compensation to teachers. Second, assist students in acquiring the right training and proper devices for blended learning to be able to ensure that no student will be left behind. And lastly, use mechanisms and implement the improved curriculum, which should be designed to recognize that students come from different backgrounds based on the assessments done during and after the pandemic.
So, for the year 2040, we have included the following goals. We have safe and inclusive learning, utilization of AI, and mandatory enrollment. So, in this case, or in relation to what has been said before, there should be a proper budget allocation for the education sector, and we should be able to recognize diversity within the students. So, in line with this, there should be a more safe and inclusive learning by building more facilities or creating more facilities that would cater to the students' needs, especially those students with special needs. And next to that one, we have utilization of AI. So given that by the year 2040, technology will most likely be more advanced. So it's going to be a very big, or it's going to have a very big impact when it comes to the lack of the teachers as of now also. So it's going to be very helpful if we're going to have artificial intelligence by that year to also, well, bridge, like what we have said earlier, to like bridge the gap, especially with maybe the public schools wherein there's a lack in or there are lesser teachers that we have there, and for mandatory enrollment. So this also affects the enrollment rate in Quezon City. So not just encouraging students, but being or making it or having a stricter implementation of a law that's going to require all the students to enroll in school, and it's going to affect the number of or the rate of out of school youth in Quezon City. So in that case, it's going to be much lesser, or it's going to decrease. So that's why it's very important. And to help students to be able to enroll to the schools, so the Quezon City local government should be able to find more scholarships or partnerships with other private companies to provide, yes, scholarships and opportunities to the students. So next one, we have the 2050.
So we have three goals for 2050. First is the collaboration between universities and LGUs and researchers to focus on solving sectoral problems, not only in terms of education, but in other problems, to increase the planning of universities for strands and different skills that will be needed in solving these. Second is the maximization of technology, use of technology to learn and to lessen physical classes. This is connected to our goals in 2040, which means the introduction of artificial intelligence and more classes that will focus on technology and how to push forward learning. Next is teaching and learning methods, different teaching methods that will focus on other skills. So this means less face-to-face classes, introduction of homeschooling that is still supervised by the universities and LGUs. Moving on to our conclusion. So if you notice, our goals puts importance in the collaboration between universities and LGUs. This emphasizes the importance of long-term planning rather than short-term planning and quick fixes that do not address the root of the problems we have been facing, which is the common issue in the country and other sectors as well in other industries. There are a lot of opportunities out there to improve overall education in Quezon City, but we have to set our priorities straight by planning. Thank you.